back to another Ozzstar's Today's Fun project. I'm Glen, and today we're going to be working on this '07 cargo van behind me here, the big white whale you see back there. Anyway, we've got some sway bar bushings to replace. Now there's two types of bushings. First off, if you don't know what a sway bar is, it actually ties the left side to the right side. It's a big thick piece of steel. Some of them have sway bar end links, but this one actually has axle bushings. I've got a new one here I'm going to show you. So this particular kind has a metal sleeve with the rubber that's pressed in there. It's already, that's how it comes, just like that. And we've got to drive the old one out, basically pry it out and press a new one in. I'm going to show you how to do all that in just a second. We'll get under there. And then you've got this type of bushing. This is the bracket bushing that actually, there's two brackets up front that actually hold that front part of the sway bar up. We're not doing these today. They seem to be okay, but these are shot and I'm going to show you what to look for. So other than that, let's just get under there and let's get to it. So this is the driver's front spring right there. Here's our sway bar, and in a second I'll show you what's wrong. That's where those bushings go, right back there through the axle. But here's our sway bar, comes around, goes down this way, and then goes back in on the passenger side. Now I've got this bracket already off because I want to show you exactly, what's going on here. So basically you've got a metal bracket that goes around this bushing here. I can kind of slip it on with one hand. Let's see. It's a little tricky right now, but you get the idea. This goes up here, and then there's two bolts. There's two 15mm bolts. One goes in here, and one goes back here. Let me show you what it looks like on the other side. So you can see how the bushing is installed in the bracket, just like a saddle here, and there's those two bolts. What I like to do is right through these frame holes, I'll spray penetrating oil in there, just so when those bolts come out, they're a lot smoother. But here's what we're really here for, and that's right over here. And as you can see, well, maybe you can't see, but I'm going to show you. Let me get a light, a little bit more light. Right here is that bushing. So here's the new one right here, and we're actually going to get this old one out and press in a new one. Now, if you can tell on camera how round that hole is, well, this one is oblong now, so it's like egg-shaped, which is not good. And I can see light coming right through here. In fact, if I grab this, I can move this up and down, and that's not good. So that's another way to check. If you can see light through these, no good. But I wanted to show you how you can take the sway bar out without removing any of the steering components or suspension components or anything like that. So there's four actually 15mm bolts, two on this bracket, two on the other. So we'll start by removing those, and then I'll show you how easy it is to just pull this whole bar out. Got the two bolts out of that bracket. I'm down to one more bolt. Be careful because the bar can be kind of heavy. So we've got this one last bolt. It should self-support, but you don't want it to fall on you. Okay, so you see how that just dropped down. And now, if you look right here, let me get you a better shot. Right over here is where the sway bar is actually going through the bushing. So all you need to do is, what I do is anyways, I'm on the driver's side, which you can't see right now. I'm just pulling that side out, so it's out of the bushing. And now I lift up and I just pull on the passenger side like that, kind of wiggle it. There you go, now driver's side's free. And then what I'll do is, let me turn this down. Just pull it up like that and it's out. I'll show you what it looks like. So looking straight into that sucker, you can see how oval it is compared to how round this is. So there's a big difference, and the one on the driver's side is actually split right here. The rubber bushing has a crack. So let me start beating those out. So here's the back of the bushing right here. This metal piece sticking out about, I don't know, what is that, about a 1/2 inch or 3/8. So that's going to go forward. And here's basically what I'll have on the end of the air chisel, like this. And I'll just get on that sucker because it's flat, and just will be pounding the vibration forward to knock it through. So let me start crushing the front of that thing. I don't know how much I'm going to film because it's kind of annoying listening to an air chisel. But anyway, you'll get an idea and I'll talk you through it after. So here's the sway bar, and this is how it actually goes in to the van, to the vehicle that way. You can kind of see how it's got all these bends and shapes. But there's the two brackets that hold it up front. There's one there and there's one there. Now, if they have a lot of slop and they're, you can move that bar up and down inside there, those bushings should be replaced. These are okay. But anyhow, what I want to show you here is at the end where it tapers, and this is the part that's actually going to go into our new axle bushing. Same thing over there, same thing. And what I do is I use dielectric grease, a silicone grease, and I lube it up real good before I put it in, so that makes things much easier. I got the pointy tip on. Hopefully I'm not in the way, but let's give it a shot. Just want to start prying it back like that. I work it all around. Try not to disturb the axle too much. If you nick it a little bit, it'll be all right. You can see it's crushed in here, and on this side, I'm gonna keep beating on it. Destroy that bushing. That steel sleeve, actually. We're going to try to get this thing to spin a little bit. If we can get it to spin, then I'll get the flat plenishing hammer, whatever you want to call this, and go from the back and do that job again until it really pops out. Let's see if we can get it to move. And it should, start vibrating circles. Well, maybe not. Come on. Don't you hate when your air chisel jams up? You saw it move a little bit right there, right? At least I did. Come on. I need one of those big nasties. Alright, I'm going to try it from the back door again since it spun. We might be able to get another shot on it. Let's see what happens. Definitely moving. I think we got her, boys. Get ready. She's going to pop. Oh, boy. I think she popped. Bingo. So this is what the dirty girl looks like when she pops. You can see it's, pretty well mutilated. All right, so the next step is we want to clean this up. There's some surface rust. I take some emery cloth. You could use sandpaper, or you could even go bust out the rotary tool, which I just don't feel like getting up to go get, so I'm just going to clean it up with this. It's not too bad. I'm sure there's several different ways to get this out, cutting, torching, all that good stuff. This is just how I prefer to do it. So I get it done one way or the other. It's coming out, and a new one is going in. I usually just put these in with a little bit of WD-40. I spray on the outside of this bushing here, steel sleeve, I guess you call it, or you could put a little grease in there. Either way, but the trick is to make sure it goes in straight and square, as they say. So just get it kind of started right there. And what I do is to get it going. Now with this tie rod out of the way, it makes it a lot easier. But I got a what is this, like a 1 7/8 inner diameter by 2 inch outer diameter piece of pipe, and that fits over that perfectly. And as you can see on the end there, it's been beat a few times, so I'll just start pounding that in to get it started, and then take a punch and just right around this edge here, just keep pounding, a couple shots this side, then this side, top, bottom, and just work it all the way in. It usually takes a little bit of time. They do have a special tool, but I don't own it. Alright, so there's my piece of pipe, and I'll just start giving a tap left to right, top, bottom. I'm not going to bore you guys with the whole process because it is going to take me a few minutes, but you get the idea. I'm just beating right on the metal flange. And when it bottoms out, you're in. So here's a close-up of what the bushing should look like when it's installed. There's the metal flange on the sleeve here that is driven in, and you want it flat or flush all along the axle here. So I just feel for it, and you'll know when it's there. But it takes some time to drive it in. I just wanted to show you guys exactly what it looks like. Before you put the sway bar in, make sure both tires or wheels are on the ground or at least being supported, because you want that axle even on both sides. You don't want one side jacked up or the other one down. Otherwise, it's going to be tough to get that sway bar in. And you can have everything in place, like I said earlier, the steering, the tie rod ends, they're not going to be in your way. They'll slip right over. You push it in, you put up your 2 brackets with the 4 bolts, the 15mm bolts, and you're all set to go. What I like to do is take some silicone grease, like I said earlier, and I'll just lube up the hole here, so it'll slide in much easier and be much more enjoyable. So I'm back under the van, and I'm about to put the sway bar back in. So just opposite of the way we took it out. Oop, there goes the light. But got the left side in now. I've got the passenger side, I mean. Got the right side in. Hopefully you can see that. And then what I'll do is now just take these brackets and bolt them right up here to the frame, and we'll be all set. I'll do the same on the other side. And when the new sway bar bushings are in and the sway bar's in, that's how it should look right there. So you can see how, you know, the fit around here is nice and tight now. So this is what it should look like after the new bushings in. Here's that metal sleeve through the back of the axle, and here's your sway bar all lubed up, sticking out. There's the driver's side. Bar comes up over here and around, comes across. If you need to replace these brackets or these bushings, they're gravy. They only take you a few minutes, and then right back there into the hole. So we're all good. Let's wrap this up. Okay, I'm back from the test drive. Everything went smooth. I had buttoned up the tie rod end and did the brake job and took it down the road. Anyhow, cruising down the highway, the thing is much more stable. You don't have that sway going on. You'd be surprised how a couple of little bushings can affect your whole handling of your vehicle. Doesn't matter if it's a van, a car, or what have you. But anyway, it's good. I hope the video helped you out. If you're doing this job, let's say at your house, I definitely suggest you have air tools. That air hammer is the key to getting this done. I mean, I guess you could do it by hand. It'd probably be exhausting. You could probably use a torch. You could use a saw to cut. You could do it several different ways. There's more ways than one to skin a cat. You know what I mean? So anyhow, you saw how I did it, and that's how I do it. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Hey, thanks for 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so down below. Click that little red box and hit the bell. I appreciate it. 10,000, it's fantastic. Never thought I would even be at 10,000. You know, it wasn't crossing my mind, but here I am. So thanks a lot for that. Check me out on Facebook. It's Ozzstar. If you have Instagram, it's Ozzstar with the number 1 after it. Other than that, I'll leave tools and materials and all that good stuff in the comment and the description section down below. So if you need that, there'll be links there. And that's about it for this video. So I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.